It's time for the Sport Corner Siam Hockey League news. Wow, what a save by Dream. Corey Day shoots. He scores! Ooh, what a hit by Brad Wilson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good turnout, so we'll start now. We usually wait like an hour because no one comes, but you guys came. It's good. As we try and do, we got a little bit of money at the bar, so I've got, I think 9 pizzas coming and 10 fries total, so should be enough for the time being. Beers are on us for a while. We'll let you know when they aren't on us anymore, and then they're on Justin. But I want to say, to start off with, welcome, fourth season of the inaugurational meeting and draft here. I'm going to make a couple of housekeeping matters, which is number one, what you see in front of you. The beer, they call it koozies, I don't know what they call them in America, but those are free. So if you want one, grab one. Like while we're sitting here, come grab one because they're going to be gone in 2 seconds. They're still from Patrick Lundback. The ones that are, take one at a time. Justin, you're going to pass them out? Jeez, that was quick. The ones that are big, we don't know what beer size they fit into. They fit the big bottles, I guess. Some of the big bottles, otherwise they're good for pencils or whatever. Up here, these SHL shirts, like I'm wearing as well, these are 400 baht. We have got one special Johnny Oduya SHL Team Oduya shirt left. It's a large. That is 600 baht. The hats are 500 baht. These SHL, one says, always a great day for hockey, and one, well, it says the same, I think. But they say the same, but different fonts, I guess. Those are, you told me this, 200 baht, cheaper. And the jerseys, if you want to buy a jersey or socks, the jersey is 400 baht and socks 200 baht. Those don't go that quickly. I think we have a Hertz Moo jersey, which could go for Hall of Fame type prices, but I think Moo's jersey's here for some reason because he was a sub. So our plan today, okay, so today I'm going to go over quickly, quick recap of last season, some league news. We do have some pretty serious rule changes we need to talk to you guys about. We'll put it out via email, and we'll also put it out on Facebook. But there's a couple of things, and I'll take your questions when some of you bitch about it, which is going to happen, but whatever. And then we'll discuss good news. We have announced a scholarship winner, the Johnny Oduya scholarship winner. We have one new sponsor, which we're very excited about. And then we're going to announce the teams. I know you guys are here for everything else. You want to hear my discussion on the Washington Capitals and how good they'll be this year. But I'll keep that to myself for a while. And then Jeremy's here. We want to thank Jeremy. He's going to go over a couple of the rule discussions, answer questions for you guys, and then we'll answer some overall questions. So let's start off with Christian. Missing anything to start? Okay. All right. This is just me kissing our own ass. As every year goes, we exceeded expectations. When you set the bar low, it's easy to exceed expectations. But last year was a great year. I wasn't here for most of it. I apologize for that. Duty called, but that's why it was so good. Last year, I wasn't here. This year's going to suck. One thing I saw looking at the stats and everything is the young Thai players coming in. We are so excited about that because the league is going to grow and grow. And look, you guys are going to leave. Your teachers leave. People leave. Guys working in governments will leave. But the Thai players, the more Thai players we get to play, the better our league's going to be because they stay. And for me, seeing some of these Thai guys who are playing for the national team, and for those of you who don't know, the Thai national team is now officially ranked because they couldn't for many years. They had to follow certain rules. They now follow those rules, and they're officially ranked. If you go to the IIHF page, they're ranked. And this November, they're, for the first time ever, going to Hong Kong for actual Olympic qualifying, which is just cool as hell. So they're actually qualifying for the Olympics. I would say first couple of times, maybe they won't qualify, but it's awesome they're going. They're playing, and I'm trying to see now what games will be on TV or covered live, but we're pretty excited about that as well. Our teams are very competitive. You know, you'll see from this year's draft, no question, fourth season, some of the people that weren't drafted, I got to tell you, you guys are going to be shocked by. I mean, really, first couple of years, guys that weren't drafted said, well, maybe the talent level's not there. There are guys that weren't drafted this year that were in our league last year. It's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. Oduya, you guys all know Johnny, our favorite guy. He was here last year literally for actual SHL games. We're pretty sure he'll be here again for SHL games. I think he'll back in October, Christian. We told him for next year if he wants to play a full season, may or may not get drafted, but we'll definitely get him in for this year. We'll see. The draft's tough. I told him the draft's tough. Never know. You'll see. He's getting a little, around the waist. But social media, we're pushing it even harder. We think that last year we were on, the social media is our Facebook presence and everything else has been pretty good. We're going to push to go even more this year. You guys saw there's a couple of new Facebook pages that are run by Ties that have live games, Thai national team games and all. We're going to see if we can get involved in that as well with the SHL. And then once again, you guys are everything, so appreciate you guys coming out today, all the parties, all the games. We appreciate it. We'll just skip this slide. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, hey, back-to-back champions hurts. What can you say? I mean, unbelievable. Good for them. I won't let the cat out of the bag on the draft, but hope they don't win this year. Anyway, move on. Okay, so this year, for those who don't know, we have three of the same sponsors, but a team called Peak Biolabs is going to be a fourth sponsor this year. Very happy about that. Pretty cool looking jerseys for them, but we're happy. Hey, look, you guys all know, we tell you all the time, we have lots of opportunities for sponsorships. Let us know if you know anybody or you want to sponsor your company or whatever. Lots of opportunities, but we seem to be pretty lucky so far, 4 years. No concerns on sponsors, so we really appreciate that. But let us know if you know anybody. We have lots of ideas for what sponsors can do, get their name out there in social media and actually, with Big Chili, actual media. So number one big change this year, we announced it last year at the awards banquet, but this year, the team that finishes in first place will get to pick who their first round opponent is in the playoffs. One of the Western leagues or Southern leagues in America did that last year. We think it's a good idea for a number of reasons. A, it's kind of cool, but B, what happens in our league sometimes is that every team makes the playoffs. Until we get a fifth team, every team's in the playoffs. So how do you give the first place team a benefit? So you go through the season, you finish in first, and the second place team loses their best player. Immigration issue, a teacher goes back to America, and you turn around and say, well, this isn't fair. The second place team sucks. We want to play against them. So we're going to give the first place team an opportunity to pick their first round opponent. We'll get into more detail as the season goes on, how that will happen, who will allow to be involved in that discussion, but that's how it's going to be this year. That first place team picks their opponent in the first round. Before I go on to the next, a couple other rule changes that I want to go over. Last year, I heard it from, when I was in D.C., I heard about it every 5 minutes. So our rule is in the regular season, overtime, 4-minute overtime, 3-on-3, then one shooter in the shootout round. Went to the playoffs last year, and there was lots of bitching and moaning justified that it shouldn't be one shooter in the playoffs, it should be 3. The last thing we're going to do is change the rules the day of. Not going to happen. No one does that. But we've changed it now. So for this year, same rule regular season, 4-minute playoff, 3-on-3, one shooter, but playoffs, 3 shooters. The reason for this, obviously, is we used to have no overtime. Ice cost money, and we bled over into the next hour or so, and we had to pay. We're going to deal with that as a league, and because it's more important that we do playoffs, 3 shooters. So playoffs, regular season's the same. 4-minute, 3-on-3, shootout, 1-for-1, 1-on-1. It's pretty much 1-for-1, start 1 shooter. Playoffs, we'll do 3. That's a rule change. Next big rule change, which is going to maybe draw some ire, but to get in line with IHF rules, that's our goal, is to be certain changes. We do blue line icing, certain things, but as far as safety goes and insurance goes, this year's major rule changes, everybody has to wear, if you were born after December 31st, 1974, you have to wear a visor. December 31st, 1974, after, you have to wear a visor. Period. IHF rules. Period. Okay? Now, how it's going to come into effect is, for the first month, what? Minimum visor. You can wear a cage, like some smart people do, like me, but you can wear whatever you want. But you have to wear a minimum of a visor. So the first month of the season, which this is going to end on November 7th, up to 7 November, it's going to be a leeway period. But November 7th on, you have to have a minimum visor. Now, how is also we have an issue, those of you who watch the NHL, a lot of people wear visors where they put the visor up. Unacceptable. So what we're going to have is the referees are going to give you a warning on this. First warning, you go to the bench and fix your equipment. After that, it will be a penalty. Okay? Delay of game? Delay? No. Okay, illegal equipment. We'll talk about it when the referee has the discussion, but that's, let you know now, is going to be a visor requirement after the November 7th. Okay. As I said before, this is the hardest part of the league here. Most of you play in Canada or the US or in Europe, and you know that very few leagues in those states, everyone can play. You sign up because they have A division, B division, C division, a million divisions. Once again, it's the hardest part of what we do is have a draft where people can't make the league. But for those of you who've been around a long time and played in the old TWHL, that league had a lot of issues. In the later years, it was because of that. It was because we had an issue with talent level, and the first line was scoring at will on the third line. And that made it unfun for people. It's unfun a word. It was not fun for people. So that's how we do it. And the downside to that is we cannot allow every player to play because it makes the league less competitive. Cole's here. Come on in, buddy. Okay, sorry. Your son walks in, you got to say hi. Sorry. My bad. Okay, so that's it. I want to finish just saying, we say it every year. I know it's not cliche. We are trying to get a fifth team. We're trying to get a second division. My opinion, personal opinion, it's only going to happen if we get more Thai players from the BIHL to come over and play and we get more teams. We're never going to get a fifth team or a second division by expats alone. So we continue to, if you guys play on the BIHL, talk to the Thais on your team and say, come play SHL. We can get a second division, a fifth team for sure. We're not going to, we try every year, we look at the numbers, we're not going to make it based on only expats. Okay, sorry. This is your committee, doesn't matter, let's move on. I've got to announce this. If you do want to see the link, people have actually emailed me or asked me, where do I see your stupid rules? You can get them online, SHL. No, it's not SHL.com. That's ridiculous. CMHockeyLeague.com. SHL.com. All right, Chris is going to do a couple of announcements. Stand by.
All right. Alice is not here, so I'll quickly run through his slide, and I'll just say, please pay your dues. That's really the main message. So you know we operate at with very small reserves. We actually had some issues last year. We had a sponsor, one of the team sponsors, that didn't pay. So we were running into negatives for a long time. And the only way for us to really keep up is to make sure that everyone pays, right? And we always have some guys on every team that we have to chase. That's very natural. Please don't be that guy. So please help us to pay your dues. We are not increasing the league fee. We've kept it at 10,000 since it started, and we're proud of that. We would rather sacrifice some other things, but we still want to be able to do these kind of things as well. So treating everyone to beers and pizzas and so on, it should be a part of this as well, of course. Okay. One important thing to remember there, though, when you've made your payment, please send it in. One of the good examples just walked in the door. Actually, Puni, he already sent his payment slip. So thanks very much for that. You can email it, you can line it, just get it to Alistair in one or another way. All right. We posted this as well. We would really like to have someone to help us to do the post on social media. So please, if there's anyone that feels like I have an extra half an hour in the morning or on a weekend and I can help out, then please let us know. One way for us to grow is, of course, to be out there and create some content and so on. So if anyone has a keen interest in this, please let us know. Okay? And then, of course, we'd like to announce Mr. Nagayama as well, as we do every year. But let's give Mr. Nagayama a big round of applause. He's dedicating his time not only to be at the rink, but those of you who are somehow into photography, you know how much editing that goes on after taking those shots as well. And I hope you can appreciate that the lighting conditions and everything else are not the greatest at the rink. So he spends a lot of time editing every photo and then uploading and posting it. So great job, and it just goes to show that we could not do this without him, and he helps us to create a lot of the content for social media and so on. So very good.
You know, I just want to say, speaking of photography, look, it comes from the heart, but it's mostly because of that guy. Please do your best to make your uniforms match. If you're a black team, wear a black, what is it, black team, black helmet? I mean, it really bothers Christian to no end. He really wants you all to look well, so if you need help in finding gear that matches colors, he can help you. You should see his, hockey locker room. It's got every color imaginable, so come on, match. Okay, so for those of you who are new here or have been following, so Johnny Oduya has been unbelievable. We talk about him a lot, but not because he comes here and plays with hockey with us or whatever. He's been unbelievably supportive of our league, our little league in Thailand. He sponsored a trophy. He wants to come back and play with us, and it was his idea to sponsor a couple of years ago this scholarship to pay the league fees for one player, for a Thai player. So he continues to want to do this. He actually takes part in the selection process, which is unbelievable. That he actually, we send him the resumes, and this year, once again, we had a lot of people apply for this scholarship, and I can't tell you, we can show you after some of the CVs that we get who are applying for this. I believe it'd be an unbelievable honor if I could go back 100 years ago and be a young Thai kid again, and again, by the way, and apply for this. It's a huge honor. The fact that Oduya takes such pride in it is, for me personally, I hope for you guys, is the coolest thing. But we get, once again, this year, many people that put in for it. The winner this year, young Thai kid who has improvement in his ability, his talent is one thing. But the pride that he took in the application process and the way he put the work into applying for this it's second to none. This is what year for the scholarship? Third year? Third year for the scholarship, and there's no question after the first, this is the most amazing I've seen anyone apply and really dedicate himself for this. And this year, 2019-2020 award goes to Major. Oh, you did?
Yeah, but the...
Here.
Hold on.
Wait here.
Sorry about that.
We saved one to do your shirt. Only one for sale. We saved one shirt for Major. There you go.
We'll share his CV with you guys later.
We're going to share with his CV with you guys. It's very impressive. Beyond impressive, actually. And by the way, when you read that CV, you're 16, right? He's 16 years old. If any of you did that at 16, I'll be shocked. All right, so want to go through sponsors very quickly again. As you know, we are sitting right now for the third year in a row. Sport Corner being our title sponsor. I want to thank Steve from Sport Corner. Our title sponsor again. Once again, have the draft party here, multiple parties here, award party here. Unbelievably supportive. And go through quickly, Novotel, Peak, Aware, and Hertz are our 4 gold sponsors. Coney Cranes, KCG, Big Chili Magazine, Rolling Stone Pizza, House Number 3, Rev Runner, and Pro Shop. All sponsors again this year. They've been sponsors for a few years now. Want to thank them again as well. Round of applause for them, please. Individually, Hertz, once again, team sponsor, gold sponsor, champion 2 years in a row. When they win, they want to stick around, I'll tell you that. Next up is Aware. Has been around since the first year. Thank them again. Appreciate it, Aware. Peak, the new team this year, Peak Biolabs. And lastly is Novotel on 20, Bangkok Novotel on 20, gold sponsor. So, once again this year, our silver sponsor, Rolling Stone Pizza, for the Player of the Game Award after every game. Reminder to you, they want to remind again, it's a free pizza and a drink. Old coupons, you didn't use them last year. You can save them as a memento if you'd like and show your friends. They expire May 31st of next year. Your name will be on the coupon, so you can't give it to friends. So your name, when you show up, please use it yourself. You gotta make a purchase. You gotta make a purchase.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Next slide.
That changed last year. Valid purchase only. Sorry. Cannot be refunded. Whatever. Move on. Okay. So while you're here, the draft this year. Why you guys are here? So this year's draft, as I said before, not just blowing smoke. This year's draft was by far most competitive, and as I said before, you'll see. I'm not going to announce the guys who weren't drafted, but you'll know some guys that weren't drafted and say, "Holy, you know what? They weren't drafted." Okay, so this year, 52 full-time skaters, 20 D-men, 32 forwards, 4 full-time goalies. We had how many goalies put in for it? 9 goalies apply to be in the league this year. 9. We have 4. I'll say it 1,000 times. Not enough room for all the players. 9 by far goalies is nuts. And we have substitute players again this year. For the captains, they know this. And you guys saw the budget. 33,000 baht last year was substitute fees. So I know a lot of you guys say we have 8 guys, that's enough. If you look at the numbers, if you're halfway decent at math, you saw that our profit margin was less than 33,000 baht. So the money we make in the league to pay for all these kind of things is because of the subs. So subs are much more important than you guys think or know. So we're not asking you to play 15 guys a game, 14 guys a game, but we need to have subs. That keeps the league kind of moving. All right, so your captains, come on up here. Brad Wilson, Justin St. Denis, Harrison Osmell, and Jordan Aston. Please come up. So we're going to have these guys announce their teams, speak a little about their team, a couple, how they drafted and why. And about 2 years ago, first year we did a full draft. I'll tell you right now, we sat here with the captains and we did a full draft. The captains drafted. The second season, Christian, myself, and Murray got kind of cocky, and we did a little bit of an inside baseball, so to speak. Last year was a little more. This year it was a 100% draft. Even last year we had a couple requirements. This guy plays with this guy. We kind of put the captains behind the 8 ball a little bit. This year we had no requirements. So this is a full draft by these guys. First up is Novotel.
What are we doing?
I'll just
Guys, come here, 1 second. Sorry, come here.
Yeah,
Hey,
put them all up.
So we could do it 2 ways. We could do it first one to go through the whole team up there.
Put the whole team. Put the whole team.
Whole team.
Yep.
I don't really remember. It's a hot mic, Brad.
Whoa. All right. So, yeah. This is your 2019-2020 Spitfires. We have 3. I want to point out we have 3 original Spitfires still. They played every season as Spitfires, and that's Mr. Jason, Ernesto, and myself. So good to keep some. Yeah, pretty much my strategy was just wing it, and whoever was available, and I took them. Tried to get some smart D. We got the new goalie I'm pretty excited about. Some fast guys. We got Bill. Wild Bill, wherever Wild Bill is, right there. Right? And that's kind of it. Yeah. I had a lot of fancy words, but Christian wouldn't let me put them up there, and I don't remember what they were.
Well, the reason why they're not up there is because they were not fancy.
He's Swedish and he didn't understand them, that's why. All right, we can move on.
All right.
Aware.
Yeah.
All right, here's the 2019 Aware. So the strategy here was experience and character on forward, agility, flow, and finish on defense. As you can see, that's a capital F. No Swedes, all finish on D. And then in goalie, we have the best goalie in Thailand until proven otherwise. But right now, he is the best. We've got Dream between the pipes. We got Brandon Vick if he ever gets into the country again. Last year's Hart Trophy winner Corey Day. Andrew Ross, newcomer to the SHL. Sleeper draft pick there. Devin, the sponsor. The Godfather Murray. Matty DJ and David Bohr. Tommy Hakkinen, he's going to be a good character player as long as he sweats out the booze. We got Andrew C., Matt Johnson, Adrian Miners, and Yari Urkainen. Yeah, that's it. Aware. Thank you.
What's it called? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
All right, we're Hertz going for 3 in a row here. New captain though. Okay, so as you can see from Justin's team, who had no ties, we're going with fast and speedy ties on forward. We drafted Mike Wilson first overall because he's got that fucking dad strength kicking in soon. We got Lance Parker in net, big truculent D-men, and speedy forward, so work hard. And Major's already winning shit, so that's awesome.
And the best for last.
Thank you.
All right, with Peak, you know, with the name, you know, you gotta have. Yes. All right, so I tried to take players, young guys, you know, with speed that peak the awareness of their opponents. Also, veteran guys at the peak of their performance, at peak of their game, and players that make defenders peak over their shoulders. In net, we got Gabor. We needed the most space taken up to make up for our defense. Defense, we got Hideki, Yeen, Pooney, Christian, and Mel. On forwards, Mike White, FBI. Got Patrick, Spruill, Ed, Jesse, and Yaden. I think we got a good squad. Let's go, Pete.
Whoever has never been drafted before, we would like a photo with all newcomers.
Hey, if you have not been drafted before, this is your first year being drafted in the SHL. When we're done.
No, after.
When we're all done with this, which is pretty soon, can you come to the front and we want to do a photo of the first-time draftees? I have no idea who that is, but you know who you are. Just come to the front.
I'll find you.
Yeah, Christian will find you if you don't come up front. So this is a list of subs this year. I've kind of example. There's a few more than this, but this is you have a D on. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so this is a list of subs. Obviously, as usual, we have a lot of guys who couldn't play due to work or travel. But this is, I believe, this team would probably win the league if this was the team. But this is the team that's guys that we're going to draft. So for substitutes. But hey, once again, we're going to try and use subs. It's not easy. Scott Murray's job is to do this. It's the hardest job in the league for sure. So we'll have some subs as we go along. So what I meant was maybe. So this is the schedule. First game is October 10th. We're going to do kind of a opening ceremony again the 10th with some maybe VIPs. So invite your friends, family, whatever, to the opening night. We might do a couple raffles and those kind of things. Happy hour again, hopefully. As you know, the schedule in Thailand is hard due to holidays and, over Christmas people leave and all those things in Songkran. We're trying to finish before Songkran again this year, as you see. We're going to stick with the semifinal, best 2 out of 3, and the final game being one final night, as we did last time. Every year we seem to have a problem with, the government and issues. So this is the tentative schedule. We try and keep it, but it's obviously subject to change, and we'll let you guys know as soon as possible, as early as we can, and bring you into the discussion if we have to change the schedule. This is what we're looking for right now. All right, so I'm going to call up Jeremy to go over a couple of rule changes, and then please, any questions you have, this is your one chance to ask the ref. Yeah. Or boo if you want, but don't boo yet.
Yeah, wait for my walk-up.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No boos.
Guys, thanks everybody for coming. We had a pretty good league last year. I know the one team won a lot of the games, but once it hit the playoffs, it was a different story. So for me, it was just very exciting for the entire year, and especially during the playoffs. So thank you for just playing hard, and thanks for having me in the league. I enjoy being part of it, so I'm looking forward to this year as well. I just want to recap a couple of the rules from last year. So one was the goals off the skate, which actually I think we had only one time throughout the entire season. So that was pretty good. And then one of the other rule changes was the delay of game with the goalie covering the puck when they're not pressured. I think that we had maybe 3 or 4 at the early going, and then not so much over the course of the year, and then towards the end we had a few more. So again, a rule change that ultimately doesn't really amount to a whole lot, but we're just going to keep on doing the same thing again this year. Third, John mentioned something about the visors or the facial protection. So again, this is going to be anybody that is born after December 31st, 1974 must wear at minimum a visor. Yeah, this is just basically safety for all the players.
Can we bring an ID?
Yeah, you can show one of those guys over there, or maybe show the bouncer over here. I think maybe he's... Oh, yeah, I mean...
I don't want to wear a visor.
Again, you'll have to talk to these guys over there for that. Yeah? I do want to take a moment to clarify something that John said about the grace period, okay? So, the schedule that we had up here has 3 nights of games in the month of October. So this gives a chance that every team plays each other once. And so during this time, we're going to, myself and the other game official will be working a little bit closely with the players that fall under this situation with wearing the visor properly. And we just want to let you guys know that we're going to try to get you guys used to wearing everything in the correct way, yeah? So the players that are wearing the visor up really, really high, that aren't covering their face, we want to try to get away from this as well. One, for the safety of the player, because obviously if the visor is up really, really high, it doesn't protect themselves. But also if there's a collision between a player that is wearing the visor without the full cage, this can create an injury potential situation for the player that only has the half facial protection. Well, certainly an injury can happen if the player's wearing a cage, but at least these sort of things sort of happen. But like I said, in order to clarify this, typically the penalty for yes.
Oh, was it not loud enough? Oh, I see. Oh, I can hear myself so much better now. So the penalty actually, for someone that is not wearing an equipment in the right way, it's a warning, and they have to go off the ice and fix it, this sort of thing. And then after that, a player with the same thing or something different of the same team, they get a 10-minute misconduct. But in the first round of games, so the first month, there will be no penalty at all for this situation. Yeah, so we give you guys some time to adjust to this situation. And also, it's a little bit easier for myself and the other game official to come to a player and say, hey, pat a guy in the back and say, hey, just put the visor down a little bit, something like this. I think for myself and the other members of the committee, this was an easier route to go instead of just hammering you guys right away. So I think that's it, those three things. I think we also touched on the overtime situation. So if you guys have any questions over anything that happened in the previous season or anything that's going to happen forward, the floor is yours now. I'll answer anything you guys want.
How many minimum players?
Hold on.
How many is the minimum people for play?
The minimum players? For the IHF or for the league?
For the league.
For the league. What's the minimum? 9 skaters.
9 skaters. Gotta have 9.
Yes. And 1 goalkeeper. Does he count as 2? Why? Are you wondering if you need to bring more water to the games this year? Is that it?
6-pack minimum.
Okay, minimum. Good. Any other questions, guys? Nothing? Okay, fantastic. Of course, if there's anything that goes on over the course of the year, you guys can always come to me. My door is always open for any question you guys have. So, just like I said, I'm here. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Did you touch on this official abuse?
No, I didn't. Okay.
Listen to this, damn it.
I know. So we did have, one more thing I want to mention. Actually, this also is just a reminder. We had this last year. In the rules previous, if a player received a game misconduct during the game, they were subject to a 1-game suspension. After further discussion between myself and the committee, we decided to take that out. Yeah. But we decided to leave in any player that received a game misconduct under Rule 116, which is abuse of officials, or 168, which is unsportsmanlike conduct, would still receive the 1-game suspension. Okay, so any player that receives a game misconduct under solely that rule is subject for the game misconduct. Last year, if memory served me correct, we only had 2 players that served a suspension because of this situation. So again, a rule that's in the rules, our rules and regulations, but ultimately not something that ultimately is a big factor in all of the games. So just want to make you guys more aware of that. That's it. Thank you again. Okay.
A couple of quick notes on that. Those of you guys who have not emailed the league or talked to us in private, please understand that we get that a lot. So any questions you have as the season goes on, hit us up, ask us questions. As I said, I was gone a lot of the past year for work purposes, but I'm back, so I'm around. So hit me up, ask me any questions you have. This is, we believe, a very good men's league. We think we do a pretty good job, but it's also a men's league, so we can make changes and rules, discussions, and it's not we're not major league Nazis. We're close, but we're not that bad. So you can ask any questions you have. What's that?
No more women?
Like tonight? Or what?
No, the league.
In the league. Kaylee's playing, yeah. Kaylee's in the league. But the other, Carly's gone. And we're open for any women who play hockey and can be drafted. There's no hashtag #MeToo in the draft.
Okay.
All right. Look, guys, we appreciate you coming out today. There should be some more food coming. Any questions in the league for us? Any questions at all? Not just rules related. Any questions for us right now you have for us? Concerns, comments? The next party we're going to have for sure will be the end of the year, but we're going to try and do one event. Last year we kind of mentioned it and we didn't do it. We really want to try, if we can, to do some kind of charity event. Be it a 5K run, SHL in Lumpini Park, be it collecting, old hockey equipment and giving it to underprivileged kids, who knows. But any ideas you guys have, or any of you more importantly want to pick that up and say, I'll do this for the league, even better. We want to do some kind of charity event this year if we can. Tuk-tuk races. See, all ideas can flow. We'll discuss it. That's it for me. Christian, anything? Hear anything? Cole, anything? Good? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the 10th? Okay.
The opposite was very strong. I was good.
The Sport Corner's Siam Hockey League news is brought to you by Big Chili Magazine, the best read expat lifestyle and news magazine in Thailand. It covers interesting issues in Bangkok and the region while bringing its readers engaging stories and various exclusive interviews, food reviews, and more. You can find the Big Chili Magazine in bookstores and online at thebigchili.com.